Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody tonight? Welcome to Saturday night Making Mixed Media with Melody. And we are working on the part two of the fairy door. Now, part one was where I took and started this one. But I had done a lot of it off screen, and so I thought I would come back and we would start from scratch so that you know you got an idea of where we're going with this. We're going to start from scratch and get started on that. So here we go. You take a book cover like this one. This one is from the Dollar Tree. And I gutted it and I gessoed it black, and then now I am starting to layer up the fairy door, and I made a template. I freehand this so you can tell it's a little off, but that's okay because nothing is usually perfect, so why try? So here we go. Now this is the example of how it's cut out of. This is a template made out of a thinner cardboard, and what I did with this one is it is made out of the thicker cardboard. So I'm going to slow down a little bit because I am not showing any watchers as of yet, and I don't want to it says live. There's Judy Peas. Hello. Okay, so now I'm feeling comfortable. I was beginning to worry that I had done something wrong, and you know how it is on making these videos, Judy. Sometimes you think you're doing what you think you're doing, and you're not actually doing it. So, but this is the template. This is made out of a thinner cardboard. This is the cardboard that I actually cut the door out of. So I cut the door, then I cut it in half, and then started strategically cutting out the slats from there. And so now I'm going to glue these on. This is what the other one looks like, Judy. I went ahead and added the split peas to the front where the metal hardware would be. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is start from the center and work my way out to each side, which is what I did with the other one, and it worked really well. So let's say I start from one side, and then I'm just not feeling that it's right in the center. This way I know. Thank you. Yeah, good luck with that, Judy P. Good luck with that. I give up as soon as I know that she's down for the count. I don't try to upset the apple cart at that point. Poor girl's so tired. Alrighty, so now remember the cover is gessoed, and here in a second, move these aside just a bit because I need to make sure that the sides of this get enough matte gel to for sure get a good adhesion. I don't want anything popping back off on me, right? Let's see. There we go. Doesn't take much, but when it gets started, it goes really easy. And I want to seal the ends of the cardboard because of the paint and things that I'm going to be putting on there. I want them all to get attached to the same, what do you call it? The sealed surface. So what I'm going to, hi Diane. So what I'm going to show you here is a couple things. One is this is the heavy gesso, black gesso that I like a lot, but I do use the Dina Wakley's, and it's just as good. I just prefer this one. You know how some artists are picky about some things. That one just hit me to where I really like it, and so that's the way I roll. And the same with this product. There are more expensive ones out there, but I really like this one. This is Masters Touch from Hobby Lobby matte gel, And when this goes on sale, I buy quite a bit of it because I go through quite a bit of it. So I am just going to methodically go through the rest of these. And if you have any questions, I will look up and answer questions. If it's something really important and you want to make sure I don't miss it, go ahead and put it in caps so that my eye can get caught. I'm leaving just a little bit of a separation between them, but not a ton. And I'm not necessarily leaving the same separation evenly between all of them. So I'm not going to stress about this. I want to enjoy myself. And so to do so, I need to just eyeball it, right? We're not going to get measuring tape out here and worry about if it's perfect. It is just going to be, oh, Judy, it is the best, isn't it? You know, Marta from Mirror Me Small Arts is the one that I first heard about matte gel with. And I bought it online because I didn't know you could buy it. She's in Ireland, and she showed a brand that I didn't recognize. So I didn't know we could necessarily get it just in our local craft store. And I bought that, and I started using it, and she was right. It does make a difference when things are gessoed and matte gel to adhere your larger items very securely. And it's changed the way that I have approached mixed media, that's for sure. And so I've been paying it forward as often as I can ever since, sharing the knowledge of matte gel as much as I can. Eyeballer, that's a good way to call it, Judy, and that's exactly what it is. If we didn't do that, it wouldn't truly be original to us. If we follow a pattern that everyone has the same pattern, then where's the uniqueness in it, right? Where's our spin on it, so to speak. Okay, so like I said, this one's a little bit further apart than some of these others. I didn't cut them straight to begin with. I wasn't trying to. So I did try to get it to where it wouldn't be, you know, less. I tried to make them to where they weren't going to look like they weren't even wood slats, but I also wasn't going to, back in the day of fairy doors, I'm assuming that, well, I'm not sure what to do. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Nope, that's not going to help. Let me see if I can do the volume on here, and I apologize for the call. Nope. There we go. Okay, got it. Hi, Linda Hale. So in my group, I have a design team, and my design team is headed up by Jennifer Wren Hardy, who's awesome. And she loves to do group chats with the girls. Well, I'm part of the group, so it'll ring through to me too. And I just didn't mute my computer before I got started. So, what is it I always say? Or I don't always say it, but I have said it for quite a while. And that is that when you bring YouTube into your life, you bring your life into YouTube. Whether my dogs are barking, or my family interrupts me, or my computer starts dinging or phone ringing, it's all part of it. You can't keep them separate completely. Yeah, anyone who does is definitely doing a better job at it than I am, because I don't know. I just don't want to worry that much about trying to do all of this that perfect. I just want to get on here when I can, how I can, and share some crafty ideas and tips, and ask you guys how you are doing, and occasionally shout out about how I'm doing, and just call it that. Kathy! Oh my gosh, how are you, sweetie? I seen your message earlier. I'm so glad you're here. I will get better at I'm getting a schedule going. I really am. It's gonna be better than the way things have been, and it will make things easier. So once that gets set in place, it'll be better. So this is cardboard from a box that I ordered from Amazon or I received from Amazon. I ordered from them, but I don't know if they were the ones that actually fulfilled it. Nowadays, we're getting all kinds of things from Amazon that used to would have to go through other sources. Anything from buying things from China you can get on Amazon now. But I don't remember what was in the box necessarily. I don't know if I could tell you what I got in a box today, let alone a box I've been sitting around for a bit, huh? But I was excited that I did have one box in there because I had broke down most of the boxes in my craft room in the purge, the Great Purge of 2019, because you know when you start this adventure, you save everything. You save paper towel rolls and toilet paper rolls and magazines and boxes and cereal boxes. Oh, I'm so glad you got your notification too. I am. Saturday nights we usually do mixed media. It isn't always on YouTube, but the last 2 weeks Jennifer was doing them for me, and so this is my first Saturday night back. So look at that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking that that looks pretty good. So there's two things that's going to happen now. At least I think so. That's my plan anyways. Let me get this a little bit more sealed because I'm always very concerned about something popping off of my cover, and that's something that when that happens I'll cry probably. So what I was saying is that the Great Purge of 2019 was Melody deciding that she is not going to save every cardboard box, every cereal box. It just can't be done. I'm going to have to purge them and then collect them as I need them. So I took out, I think, 2 recycling large bins by the time I was done getting it all out of here, which gave me a lot of space for product and stuff, which was a much better use of my space. But honestly, it was kind of buried. You know, the cardboard was buried underneath other things, so I didn't realize how much I had underneath there. And you just never feel like you're going to have enough. What if I need this texture? Or what if I need that depth? Or what if I need this size or that thing or the other? So it's just always something. Okay, so what I did with the last time, let me show you so we can go over this bit by bit. But what I did last time was I had gessoed the book. Then I put the slats on there, and I will do this slat next, the one with the crossboard. And then I decoupaged tissue paper. Now I'm going to do something different tonight. I'm going to see about using coffee filters because I happen to have those. And I use tissue paper for so many other things that it seems to me that using these up, since I have them, would be a little bit smarter use of what I have and what I do for one thing or another. Because I will jelly print with my tissue paper. I'll wrap product with my tissue paper. But the coffee filters aren't getting as much love. They aren't getting as much use. So now the other thing is that I'm wondering, you guys tell me, let's make this interactive. You know how I love to do that. You guys decide. The first person who messages will be the decider. But I did this one with only decoupaging the texture from here to here. I did want it on the spine, but honestly, I was in a rush. I didn't have time to do it justice, so I left the back flat. It is a linen texture, the book, so it wasn't slick, so I thought it would be fine. Do you think that we should take this texture and go all the way to the other side with this one tonight? So you tell me what you think, and while you're deciding that, I'm going to put these on, and then I'll look up, and the first person gets to who all the way, Linda says, all the way. I'm with Linda. I would have loved to have done it earlier, but today was just one of those days where I needed to get it dry so that it could be ready for tonight. Because after we do this, you guys, we're going to take that one and do some more work on it. I have some exciting things. Ah! Well, hello, Jody girl. Our JoJo's here. Grimm's Whimsies. She, sometimes she will take a little nap in the evenings and miss my shows, but she's here today. So, JoJo, look. This is what it looks like. You hadn't seen these bricks be put on, and you hadn't seen the little split peas be put on. So there's that. But I wanted the ladies to be able to see it done from scratch. It's just that I needed to have two of them. One that was dry and be able to do at a different level. One that is wet and we can work up from there. So this is our crossboards, and we're going to go ahead and dirty up some more paintbrushes because I took that paintbrush and put it in the water. That's the way I roll around here, ladies. That's the way I roll. So now this one, I will say, I used, you know how you will get a paper pack? At least when I get paper packs from the companies that I've been buying them from, I will get this piece like this inside, right? Real thin, but 12 by 12, and in the back. Hi, little gypsy. It's nice to see you. Oh, I've got quite the crowd. Little Gypsy, these ladies here are majorly from Newbie Junk Journal Makers. Ladies, this is Little Gypsy. This is just so awesome. Nice to see everybody here. So this one is a 12 by 12 from my paper packs that come in from Italy. And so it's very, very slim. And I thought that would be better for these top boards. So that's why I chose that. And I think even maybe a piece of cardstock would have been fine. But because I've seen that piece sitting there, I went ahead and did that. So now we put these across here. And you know what's fabulous is I think that these are just so unique. Not one of them would look exactly the same as the next one because I freehand cut everything. I freehand basically measured everything. And so it just keeps it very unique and individual. Each one would have its own nooks and crannies, which adds so much to the project, especially something like a fairy door, right? Nooks and crannies, you just have to have nooks and crannies. So there we go. Now that is pretty well done. So what I did the last time was this did dry a little bit, and while I'm telling you the rest, I'll put this on. But I took this brown and went over the top of it while I had it here, even with it a little bit damp, because I figured I would do layer after layer after layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I want to just make sure that the white is a little bit less opaque, a little bit more clear. Then it won't mix with it, as it won't mix with it that much. It'll be a little bit better. So now let's use this. Let's use this. It didn't take much of this either, believe it or not. I was surprised at how opaque not opaque, translucent this was. I'm gonna just use this brush because I'm in a bit of a situation where I don't want to have you guys sit and watch paint dry, or me paint things, and then the way that popped up on me, we got to be careful. Watch that. Might have to add a little bit more. It might have just needed to stay down a little longer, be held down a little longer before I could let go. But those are the things you want to watch for. But then honestly, what the heck, if it was to lift up a little, add a little more glue, push it back down, or it's a fairy door that's a little bit distressed and a piece of the wood is lifting up. We don't know. We could make a story up, make it work for whatever we wanted. Now, what I did with the paintbrush the last time, you know what I did do differently this time? Is I am doing this before I decoupaged on, but that's okay, because like I said, I think the door was going to end up taking layers and layers of paint, not just one layer. So I'm gonna stop there. Hi Belinda, how are you, sweetie? Oh, it's a party now. We've got all our usual suspects plus some new ones. This is so fun. Let me find my black or my towel to wipe this off on. And so while this is drying, because I didn't do that last time, but I think it'll be fine, I will decoupage the outside here. And I did put some on here last time, but I don't have to. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave this one smooth. It was kind of funny though, because when I was doing it, this one, I kind of imagined it as spider webs and corrosion. So I don't know. I might make a cleaner looking one this time. They certainly don't need to look the same, that's for sure. Okay, so I have all of my coffee filters, right? And I'm going to just continue to use the matte gel because it dries matte and is a really awesome surface to bring more. And I didn't go over the edge this time. There's a lot of times, you guys, on these books that I go over the edge, but I ended up painting the edge, so I don't need to do that. You see how nicely that looks? So that's what I did there. Now, I want you guys to realize this is here for texture. So I'm not trying to make it look nice. I don't care if it folds. I don't care if it overlaps. It's going to be painted and changed color and texture highlighted. So this is something I can do very quickly and no rush, no muss. Just, you know what? Just get it on there and in a casual kind of, what did he call it? Therapeutic way of just, I don't know. In fact, I was watching Purple Cottage, and she was talking about how collaging is her favorite thing to do. It just is her mindless, effortless thing to do. And so I was thinking about that when I was doing this earlier, about how easy it is to get lost in. Oh, and then there was a comment on there that I wanted to share with some of you. Ladies of us who have pain. Brenda, I won't say her last name in case she doesn't want me to say it, but she made a comment over there that just hit my heart. It was amazing. And let me see if I can get it right. She said, crafting doesn't take her pain away. It takes her from the pain, meaning that it just takes her mind and removes her from the pain. And that just really hit me. And I was looking forward to sharing that and giving her credit for just a wonderful way of wording. Because I have a rib that for years now pops out. And when it pops out, it feels like something stabbing me in the back, upper shoulder. Well, just this last month, the other one popped out after all these years. And I'll tell you, there's days when I sit here hunched over this desk where I feel like two knives are in my back, and I sit here and I just push the pain aside and keep working, because what I like to do, unfortunately, because of the position that I sit in, is what causes me some of my pain. But you know what? I am going to learn how to strengthen my upper core, I think is what they've been telling me. Strengthen my core, and then that will keep the ribs in place. So I just haven't figured out how to master it, but that's my goal. So it's going to be good. Let's see. Doing collage is fun. That's true. Hi, Jean. Hi, Ashlina. What a great comment. I feel the same. Major back problems from trained horses. Oh, my goodness. See? And you know what? Oh, I just love it when you guys chat with each other like that. That's one of my favorite things about doing lives, you guys. You would think that doing live would somehow make it a social thing for me. Honestly, I sit here and just do what I do, and I love knowing that you guys all communicate with each other, and it becomes like a tea party, you know, like I'm having, I'm an American, so I don't have tea parties, so I don't know exactly what's involved in a tea party. I don't know. What is it? I've heard tea and crumpets or tea and biscuits. I don't know, but that's what it makes me think of, is that we're just all hanging out and enjoying each other's company. It's a very social thing watching you guys interact with each other, because it's difficult for me to keep track of the comments completely. but I do love seeing that you guys are communicating with each other. One of my favorite things. Thank you, ladies. Let's see. So this is my first time decoupaging with coffee filters, and I have to say they're no better or worse than oh, Ashley Roper. Hello, sweetie. I didn't realize that's who you were. It's no better or worse than the tissue paper. So that works plenty fine. Now I will come in and do some of these details, but these bigger pieces like this, I'm going to go ahead and maybe this one would be a good one to get over here. It definitely needed the texture behind it. And then my goal is to, let me fold that up, see if I can get that a nice edge, because I really don't want it to fold over the edge that much. I just want it to stay on the top of the, is this close enough, ladies? Because I can put this down a bit. How's that? My goal was to keep that edge without it going over, but I can always cut it off if I have to. Let's see. Just use all these bits up while I have them, and then I'll tear up another one so that we can go all the way over. There we go. This larger one here. It definitely, the texture that the decoupaging, collaging added to the other one was definitely lovely. I definitely think it added something to it. Let's see. Kathy says, I love the coffee filter on the book. I'm going to give that a try. Are you making the cover, or are you making a journal for it? I love the fairy door. Oh, I've been getting told that I should make these and sell them, because a lot of times I don't finish. I have a lot of journal covers that sit aside and I don't get them finished, or I even might get them finished and then I don't put them in the store because I'm a lazy business owner that doesn't like to take pictures and put things up on the store. So anyways, I am thinking about these particular ones because they would be so unique. Each one, even if I wanted and used the same technique, it would be easy to make each one look just a little bit different and be, what is that term I'm thinking of? I use the word unique a lot, but it's because I truly believe that we all are unique and everything we do is unique. So it's easy for me to grab that word, but there's other words that give the same sense of what I'm trying to say. Hi, Jezebel Darkness. Nice to meet you. Let's see. So, I'm worried a little bit about this edge, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of this just a bit. Quite don't need that much. Let's go across here first. Hi, Lisa. Secret garden. That's a good point. I'm calling it a fairy door because I definitely think that it has that sense. But if I was to keep one of these or make one for myself to do, I would make it more along the lines of a botanical flower garden, or like secret garden. That would be more, because I'm just not a fairy person. So yeah, let's see, almost got this edge to where I'm feeling a little more comfortable with how it's looking. There we go. There. I just didn't like the darkness around there when the rest didn't have it. So yep, coffee filter. I went over there to grab some more tissue paper and I found the coffee filters because someone gifted them to me. I use a Keurig. I haven't had coffee filters for a little bit. And I was like, oh my goodness, that makes much more sense because I use my tissue paper for so many other things. Then I have this, and it doesn't tear as easily. Now, when I was doing the tissue paper, I was able to put the tissue paper down, put my brush on there, and then it would just tear away. And this doesn't do the same, but I don't need it to do the same. I can make it work. I can make it work. Okay, so there we go. So we got our edges looking much better. We're getting some really good texture in here. This is going to really look nice. And I'm excited because I will bring it in probably one of the days next week. Unless I can't stand not working on it, then I will come in tomorrow. But otherwise, I'll come in next week and we'll get to the next levels. But before I go today, I will show you what some of my plans are because I found some metals for the door, which is a big deal. And it was something that I had to wrestle with it because at first I wasn't getting to, the cutters weren't going through it at all. weren't going through what I was wanting to cut, but I managed to finally wrestle with it and get some semi hinges done. I don't know that they're meant to look like hinges. They are not hinges, so that's kind of what's going on. And I have an idea for the door handle, and I am going to put I have some other types of molds that I've made that I'm going to use as the decoration right here. And then the hinges right here. And then as you've seen on this one, the bricks are all around the edge. So those will showcase the edge. And then I've even got more ideas about the background and some foliage and things. So I've really been planning today, wrapping my brain around this whole thing. Don't be sorry, Lisa. It's never a problem. These things can always be watched later. It's never. If life gets in the way, then you'll catch us later. But I'll tell you, today my family went off to my husband's company picnic, so I had the day to create without interruption, which was in itself very nice. So I am using a ton of matte gel on this, but that's the way it works sometimes. So there we go. There, that one tore nicely. So now I'll have two of them to make decisions on whether I want to, what color I want to go with the bricks and the bricks and mortar of it, basically, and then the foliage that I was intending on putting around it. Let's see, I'm just going to put this in here because that rounded edge isn't fitting along the edge as much as I would like it to, but this may work out. There we go, a little bit. I like the way it actually looks even just on its own like that, in kind of a creepy, I don't know, mummified way. Thank you, Jean. Okay. Let's go right there. And there, and then I'm going to tear this just a little bit because I'm not wanting that circle look to stay there. There we go. And then this one can go here. And this is catching my eye, so I'm going to cover that up. And then we're almost getting to the point that we could be done. and it was not a ton of work. It's a little bit of time, but majorly it was pretty simple. And things, upcycle some things around the house. You could even probably, if you used the coffee filter, dump out the grounds, let the coffee filter dry, and you could still use it. So it would even be an upcycling to that level. Because these things are made to get wet and then like a tea bag. That's what it would be like. It'd be like a tea bag. Okay, so I think maybe a tiny bit right there. And then I'm going to this right here, just a bit. Let's see, like that. And this is kind of hanging off. I'm going to cut that. And then I have a little bit of black here that is showing in a way that I don't want it to. Okay. There we go. That's the last of it. I'm going to press down with my nail around the edge. I don't have to get this perfect because this is going to be covered anyways. Not that I had to get any of it perfect, but you know what I mean. I don't think that had quite enough paste. There we go. Gel, not paste. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Now, that one is going to get set aside, and that will, we'll come back to this one after. Oh, thank you. It looks cathedral-ish. Awesome. Yes, so many different things that could be done with it. In fact, the door doesn't even have to be done similar as to this one in that respect when you think about it like that. I'm going to get the matte gel off the paper. This one, of course, is going very kind of fairy doorish. And let me show you kind of what I'm thinking. For one, I took a metallic metal embellishment and I cut it. I cut the middle out of it, and I was going to put that there and put that there, I guess, because I could do 3 of them. And then what I did was I cut a hole in the center with my with Butch, my crocodile, and I was going to, this wouldn't go all the way through. I probably have bigger ones that would, and I can think about that, but for right now I had found these small brads, thought I could cut off the tip and then press it down in there with some glue, and that would give me, let me show you, and that would give me a metallic or a metal. Why don't you want to focus? There we go. So what do you think about that? It's not perfect. It's not, but it's very ornate, and I liked it. I just have to decide, because of the metal that it is and the color it is, that I might try to. Oh, thank you, Belinda. I might try to make it a different colored metal just so that it stands out more, but I haven't decided. But I have the products to do that if I want to. So those are inside of there waiting to get used when I want to do that. But what we can do now is we got to kind of decide how these bricks right here want to work. I did do this. I glued the half peas on here. I have these in a cloth bag because I used to use them when I was sewing to hold down fabrics while you're cutting out patterns and stuff. One of those do-it-yourself weight things. But so these are what I've glued on there. And I can paint over those and then buff them out with the metal. But I was thinking that we would work on this area right here. So, but what I had done was I took this mica spray to the door. And I did one, and I'll go ahead and do it again so you can see. Did that because I think it adds something to it. I didn't think that up, but luckily I had them. I did see it on a video, but I thought, oh my gosh, I've got those peas from when I was doing sewing. So it was awesome. It was a great way to work with what I already had. So, and this is the brown mica, or brown alcohol ink with gold mica powder in it. Sprayed on there and then dried, and then I kind of like that. I think that might be all that needs. These will get painted and buffed again, and that might affect how I manage to do everything else. But for right now, I'm really feeling this color here. So let's decide about this. What I kind of was going to ask is I was thinking about painting them gray, and then I did this cover a while back where I did my white alcohol spray, the white linen, right? And it made this granite-like looking, and I thought maybe I would do that. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to paint this gray, which I have right here from when I was doing jelly plating last night. At least I did have it right here. There it is, right there, gray. This is just gray. Artist Lofts Gray. Thank you, little gypsy. Thank you, Jean. Oh, yeah. Ashley, if you go back when this is over and watch the beginning, we actually put this all on here, and we did it right here. This was the one we did, and this one I had done earlier in the day. So if you watch the beginning of the video, it's a template that I hand drew out because I didn't want it to be perfect, and then cut it out of cardboard. So that's what I did. So let me see if I'm getting some gray out here. And I'm trying to think just how well I think I'll be able to hand paint this without making a mess. So I might want to use a smaller paintbrush and try to do a good job. We'll see. We'll see if I can. Not sure what's landing on there. Maybe it's stuff off my hands even. I've got so much glue on my hands. Alrighty, here we go. Awesome. You will enjoy it. It's a very, it's time consuming, but it is easy. It's not something that is outside of the range of being able to manage, and that's the kind of things I like, because there can be some really tricky things out there. They're awesome, they're beautiful, but if it gets too detailed or difficult, it has to be too precise, all that kind of stuff, it ends up stressing me out more than having fun. And this was definitely more fun. I wonder if I need this gray to be a little bit darker. I don't know. If I go too dark though, then it won't. I don't know. I do feel like it needs to be a little bit darker though. So what I'm going to do is reach back here and find my black. Or did I put the black? I must have put the black in the thing behind the... Well, let's get some black gesso. It's right here. Black gesso and black acrylic paint are very close. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to mix this up and just get this a little bit darker. Because, and the reason why I say this is because I wanted to have the, well, see now that's not standing out very much. This is going to be a delicate balance, ladies. But when I get the white on there, if the gray is so light that the white doesn't pop off, then I don't know. Maybe I'll just make them some one color and some another color. Maybe I don't even need them to be that gray. I need them to be I don't know. I don't know what I need. I think it's just best to maybe variegate it so some places will look one way, some places will look another. Yeah, gray will give me an opportunity, hopefully that white linen spray that I'm thinking about using, which means I'll have to tape off everything, will give me what I'm looking for. I was thinking kind of like a granite. I don't know why. I don't know that these stones probably should just be painted red or something. I don't know. But this was what my imagination was coming up with, so I figured, what the heck, right? What the heck? Let's see if I can push this up a bit without getting paint on everything. I cut each one of these little bricks out, rounded the corners, but it sure was fun. It definitely was fun. There we go. Okay, so over here, it's crazy, you guys. It's already September. Kids are pretty much going to be back at school, most states that I can think of. And now we're going to all start counting down to Christmas. There's been many times when I've started buying my Christmas presents in October because I just don't like things to be left to the last minute. It stresses me out to no end to not be prepared at least a little bit in case something goes wrong. Sometimes it's not as easy to get to the store when you think, you procrastinate and then you realize, oh, if I just would have got more done, I'd be ahead now instead of behind. Okay, so now, if I wanted to make those iron instead of bronze, but the other is going to be bronze, so I can't do that. Cannot do that. Okay, so that's something to process and think about. I do have a metallic bronze or metallic gold right here. Metallic bronze. I bet this one would look good on there. So maybe if I'm again very careful, which is so hard for me to do. I am not a detail painter. I'm more of an abstract painter. Oh, look at that. It's not going to be so terrible. I don't think a little greenish hue behind that will be a problem. And I can also do 2 coats. What did I just... Oh, I just put my hand on the bricks. I'm like, what did I put my hand on that's wet? Well, you just painted bricks. Probably everyone out there was thinking, is she putting her hand on wet paint? Yes, I am. This is probably the most detail I've put into a mixed media cover. A lot of mine are more abstract and bold, so there's not this fine detail work. So this is kind of new. It's kind of fun for me. I definitely would do it again. This might be a new whole little... I was fascinated by doors. Early in the month of August, I was doing some things with doors, and I just love them. So this was a natural direction to go, I guess. Yes, these are blended. These are split peas from like split pea soup. You would buy the bag of split peas, and I bought them and made weight bags for my sewing table when I was doing cutting out fabric and measuring things, and the weights, the bag would weight the fabric down so it didn't move around. And I would have never in a million years thought that this is what I would be doing with them later. I mean, I've always loved to do any kind of artistic things that I got my mind set to do, but this point in my life, I'm probably exposed to more types of art and products than I ever have been, which is nice. Well, we are almost done with these little guys. Cute little buddies, aren't they? They did a really good job. They still have a hint of green here and there, and so I will probably paint them a second coat at some point. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll leave it to look like patina. Who knows? Okay, so now let's see if we can get this gray dried, because I don't know how that's going to work out, but I know it needs to be on dried surface. So let's see, while I'm doing this, if I can even find it. Here it is, some of it. So, what I'm wondering as I look at this is, how do I protect the outside of my journal? I don't know if this will work, but if I don't try, I'll never know. So I'm going to try to cut this piece of cardboard that I had originally cut the frame out of and see if I can make it just enough bigger. There we go. That helps a little bit. That definitely helps. Now, what I was wondering is if this would protect that. I think if I held it just right, I could make this work, because I can always go back in and darken these areas here, because we were going to do something out here anyways. So I think this might be the closest I'm going to be able to get, and I'm just going to go ahead and try. So I'm only going to do half of it at a time. So you ready? Let's see if this will work. Oh, that's a good idea. Evo drops. Oh, wait. I have to make sure that this doesn't go out all the way over here. Oh, it's going to splutter and splatter. The rotten thing. That's why I put it in this new one, because it was sputtering and spattering in the original one. So I wonder, is it this part that needs to be cleaned off, or is it the whole thing? I don't know if I'll know. Oh, good job, Jean. Good job. There, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking, well, not that, more like that. So it's okay. There's nothing that can't be painted over. If we needed to. So I'm just going to continue and hope that I can do a little bit better this time. There we go. That's good enough for now. Let's see how this will turn out. We can always alter it. Take some away, put some back. Turn to the left, turn to the right, do whatever we need to do. Look at that. Okay, so this obviously is not what I was looking for. This over here is what I was looking for. Let me show you. So once I got the bottle working the way that I wanted it to, this was what I was looking for. Just this kind of a speckled black. So I definitely, though, need to come back in and get some of this gesso. Doesn't matter if it's black or gray at this point. And come in and fix this. Which I knew was going to happen, so that's not a big problem. Oh, I got some on the top here too, I didn't realize. Luckily not a big problem either. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with that background as far as the base colors, so. Okay. Let's get some more of the actual gesso out. Kind of fun, isn't it, ladies? The things that we can think up. Definitely fun. See, I needed to take it back to an actual black, huh? Now the other thing is that I was thinking about having some of the ivy or foliage that I was going to have in the background be on top of the bricks. So maybe I could cover this area up with something along those lines and won't have to redo it per se. A lot of times the mistakes we make are opportunities for coming up with a new composition or design, huh? Okay, so now that those are filled back in, I think that, oops, didn't mean to do that. I think that's got a very nice ruffled edge around it, the way the bricks were intended to look. So far, we know we're going to have to figure out something for here, right? But this here is exactly what I was thinking, and I can make it even better looking with some more, like if I was to spray over this with a darker color, it would maintain, because I did it with this. I sprayed the white down, and then I sprayed all these colors, and the white stayed. No, this one was tissue paper, Belinda. The original one was with tissue paper. I didn't want to use tissue paper again, so I grabbed the coffee filters for the second one. But this one is tissue paper, and it was only done up to here. It's not on the back. So, but what I'm wondering is that I have, so see how the white stayed white, and if anything just took a hint of the color? Oh, Linda, you're so sweet to say that. I so appreciate hearing that. You guys, that's why I do what I do. I mean, I love to do this stuff anyways, but I have to admit that I probably wouldn't have gone as far as to do this in the public the way I do if I didn't get such wonderful positive feedback from everybody. It is just wonderful. Absolutely. You can almost make me tear up. Okay, so I need to let this one dry so that I can add all the little bricks around it, if that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to think about it tonight, and I'm going to ask myself, Melody, Do you think that if you were to put bricks all the way, this could be a wall to a castle or a door to a castle, right? So maybe that's what I might think about doing, because I have all of these little bits. These are what I was making the other ones out of. Yes, definitely can dry brush on the bricks. Definitely. What do you guys think? I might try doing something like that. So, but my only problem would be how it affects this edge. So that's what I'd have to think about, is the functionality of it. Oh, another texture. You're right. You're right. Dry brushing them would give us another texture. I did think about taking my cutter. I have this little cutter. Let me wipe it off because it's messy. But I did think about this and trying to put like dents in the edges. Nowadays, our bricks kind of have those, I don't know, just kind of a, I don't know. But I didn't do it. I hesitated and I just waited, because there's nothing that I can't think about for a bit and then come back and do if I decide to. But so I think this is where I'm going to be at the end, because the metals that I want to put on there, I think are going to be the very last thing that I put on, right? Oh, hi Vanessa, how are you, sweetie? So this this hinges that I got here, let me bring them back out. The hinges would be the last thing I put on, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep this. I might bronze these up, or more gold these up. And so these would go like this. And then I have a door pull that can go here. And I wanted to put an ornate metal here. I can show you the one that I was thinking. It's the same one that I was going to make the hinges out of. And I'm not sure if I have the door pulls over here or not. I don't see them yet, but I have another container to look through. Nope, I'm not seeing the door pulls. But I do have these. This was another option, but they ended up just so big. There's just, I almost think too big. You guys give me some advice. Maybe that is better. I don't know. But I would have to cut it off. But so then this one is the one I made the original door hinges out of, and I was thinking about, again, you know, making it more gold, but I'd like to put something like that on the front, because I wanted it to not, I wanted it to almost be like, if it is a fairy door, it's like the higher up fairy. It's not the fairy that's, you know, working hard in the shoe shop. That's not a fairy, that's an elf. I apologize, ladies, I apologize. I don't know. I like to do things. I mean, I like grungy too, but sometimes, and this one was going to give me this opportunity to use all these wonderful metals. Now I could make that almost rusty if I wanted. But anyway, so this is where I was going, is I have these two metals to work from. I almost thought about putting just one hinge, but that doesn't much make sense. It's definitely going to have two. Oh, what about one there and one there instead of like that? I think that's the better idea. I don't know if I can get this cut or not, honestly. I don't know. I tried the wire cutters and they were not liking it. Let's just put it that way. I was really having to riff on it. Oy, there, got that one. And so that means right about here. And I'm kind of worried to, you know, slice my finger up because I am a klutzy person. But this you can almost tear. I need to get 10 snips, I think. That's what I think I need to get if I'm going to alter these kind of things like this. Oh, there we go. So there's one. And about flattening this out so I don't cut myself. Okay, I could definitely do a better job on that, but what do you guys think? Which one do you like better? The more unique, or dainty one or the larger one? I like the larger one. I don't know. I think the hinges need to be on top and bottom to look symmetrical. I know, huh? But then what about 3? What about that? Yeah, see, I don't know. I like all the ornateness is what it is. But large. Okay, we'll do the large. So what if we did the large? Did 3 large or just the? I don't know. So now I have to cut that one up. I'm not going to wrestle with it right here. So there's that one, and then see, it would need to be to where the larger one was in the center, not the narrow one. So maybe a 3rd one, because it did look nice in there. And then this one would probably be too much, and we probably just want to leave those as the focal point. Yeah, I think 3. 1 on top, 1 on bottom. So we've got multiple opinions. I will think about it because honestly, from my perspective right here, the one that my eye liked the best, and I'm just me, but is this one. And I don't know if that, I just kind of felt like the larger one was ornate, the small ones were functional, and it just kind of gave it a decorative door kind of thing because of the, and then I could have put this one up here, but I will think about it. I'll mull it over, and I could put a gem right there. So I don't know. I just kind of want to bling this sucker up, don't I? Good night, little gypsy. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, ladies, I probably will go, and we'll bring this back up soon, and we'll have this one and this one to work on, and we'll do them together here over at YouTube. Plus, we're got one more episode to go in the series for the Paris in spring. So, woohoo! We have some really fun stuff to jump over on YouTube and hang out and create together. So, thank you, ladies, and I want to say, you know what you guys do for me is so wonderful. The support and just letting me be me and accepting me as I am. Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye.